Let's see if this works. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Voice of Todd. I almost forgot which channel I was on then. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. So we're going to be talking about Dragon Age today. We're going to be specifically talking about what has become the Veilguard. And I'll tell you what, I'll take these off for a second. And yeah, we're going to run through this tweet first that came out yesterday, and then we're going to, for the hour before that we get the trailer, I thought we'd have a look at some of the older marketing material and see if we can just get a glimpse of how this is going. Now, obviously, this game has changed quite a lot since it was revealed, and I'd probably argue it's changed a lot before then as well. So it's going to be a bit sketchy, and a lot of what we're looking at is more going to just try and give us an idea of the story over anything else. Bearing in mind a video from 6 years ago probably won't give us a huge amount in whatever they've changed. But I thought it'd be interesting just to have a look, and then we can really build up the hype for this. But we'll dive into this tweet first. I still call it Twitter. Yeah, I'm old school. So this is tweeted out Dragon Age account yesterday. Dragon Age Veilguard upcoming reveals. So today we have the release date trailer and announcement. I still think early October, but we'll see. I think something has leaked. There an art book leaked that said it was coming. So that might have given the game away, but we'll find out in about an hour. And then next week, which is Gamescom week, they are not at Gamescom, but they will be having a high-level combat and PC spotlight. Now, I assume that that's two separate videos. High-level combat we'll probably take a look at, definitely. Maybe not live, but we'll definitely take a look at that. And then the week after, 26th of August, is Companions Week. They did this very similarly with Inquisition, at least. So there'll be a load of trailers, probably a minute, 2 minutes of, here's your gang. You guys are now the Veilguard. So that'll be interesting, and we'll have a look at those. I don't know if that'll be a... You know, we'll do each video on their own, or we'll just do them as a cluster, or what, I don't know. It might even be something that gets rolled into the Todd Plays Games live stream for our Inquisition live stream that we're going through at the minute. Currently playing through that. Little plug for the other channel. And then end of August, we've got a developer Discord Q&A. I'll keep my ear for that, but I don't think that's something I'll be covering probably. September's where it could get very interesting, though. So, 3rd of September, IGN First month-long exclusive coverage. IGN First is pretty good. It's probably one of the few shining gems of IGN in the current iteration of whatever IGN wants to be. So there could be some very interesting stuff in there. Again, I won't be covering that in massive detail, I don't think. Only when I see something interesting or when something sings to me. So there's at least stuff to talk about. And then obviously September, they're saying much more. September and beyond. What they're not saying is October, November, or December, which makes me think early October. Because this is, you know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks of marketing to push from today to the start of October, let's say. That's a pretty good series of marketing that they got to put out. Obviously, a lot of stuff is prepped. Think the game's gone gold? We may be near that. If they're putting a release date, then surely they must be fairly dialed in and locked in with it, because they cannot afford to get this wrong. But this is all good stuff. This is all interesting, and more of a look at the game is going to be huge. I am really looking forward to seeing high-level combat, because combat is something with Inquisition that I am really struggling with, whereas I enjoyed it in the previous two. I know they're very different games. Each game is a different take on combat. I'm really struggling with Inquisition. Loving everything else just about, but I'm really struggling with the combat. And combat is such a core gameplay thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we'll break that down next week. We've also got Gamescom next week, so we'll have a look at whatever's coming out there. But I think it was confirmed that Dragon Age isn't going to be at Gamescom, so don't expect too much. There will be obviously other reveals though. So what are we going to do first? I thought we'd take a look at this one. So this is the original just put these on now. This is the original Dragon Age teaser trailer all the way back December 2018 at the Game Awards. So I remember this one coming out. I remember watching it live. I figured we'd start here and we'd bounce through the next, and we'd finish up on the 20-minute deep dive that they did a few months ago. And I know we've covered on that on the channel, but this is more of a refresher for me before we get to the 5 PM release. Because I am now much more versed in the Dragon Age lore. Now I'm playing through Inquisition for the first time. I'm actually picking up on things now. So I might even understand it better, who knows. But let's have a look at what they teased in 2018. Hopefully I've got the volume right. Is all I'll say. I may just do that. So obviously this is all just early concept. They're probably still trying to work out what the story of the game is at this point. I would expect some of this to change. I think the imagery has probably changed slightly, but there could be some little hints to what the story will be. Obviously we've got Red Lyrium growing out of this idol. Potentially a Darkspawn idol, I don't know. I haven't seen the Darkspawn for a while.
So, you found me at last. I suspect you have questions.
So that's obviously just a little art shot. Very simplistic trailer. I think that's Solus. And that's obviously this Dreadwolf that the game was named after.
I suspect you have questions.
Okay, so that was our first glimpse. Doesn't give anything away. It just teases the Dreadwolf. The Dreadwolf rises. It's not even named Dragon Age Dreadwolf yet. So there was nothing else, was there? No, it just flashes up as Dragon Age. Yeah, so that was even before they decided on the name, before the name change. But I think it's giving us an idea of there's this entity, this elven Dreadwolf, that is potentially pushing through the boundary of the Fade or the Veil or whatever. And somebody's maybe coaxing it along, maybe trying to stop it. We don't know, and we don't even know if that was Solus. Unless I've missed that. This was 6 years ago when I watched this. Now, I don't know if I've actually seen this next one. Gone. Because I don't remember this. Apparently I've watched it. This is the next Dragon Age official teaser trailer from 2020. So 2 years later, still 4 years old, it's still been through a myriad of changes. In fact, that looks like the time when they've actually named it, 2023. So this is still very early in development, and it's been a long development cycle. Let's give this a go. Obviously not actual gameplay.
And would-be gods. Seen friends lose life and limb.
Varric narrating.
There's always someone bent on breaking the world. It's time for a new hero. No magic hand. No ancient prophecy. The kind of person they'll never see coming. We've got your back. I've got your back. Demons, dragons, darkspawn. Even the Dreadwolf.
And now they're confirming Solus officially.
This is your story.
Okay, there's actually quite a lot going on in that minute, isn't there? Starts with Varric talking about previous adventures, talking about the world. Obviously, there's a reference here to Templars. I would guess it's Templars from my limited knowledge. Haven't finished Inquisition. I've barely started it, let's be honest. Just got to Skyhold, Skykeep, whatever it's called. Pretty much. So I don't know if this is a big bad from Inquisition. It doesn't look like the guy I think it is. It looks more like a Templar, and obviously Dragon Age 2, Meredith went a little bit wild with Red Lyrium, and I don't know if she is still a statue, but she was turned into a statue at the end of the game.
I face tyrants and
But
will
it's
be gods.
the voiceover. So that is it Corypheus? GBD I call him because I can't remember his name. But obviously Varric, I think that is meant to be Meredith because it's I've faced tyrants, gods.
Seen friends lose life and limb.
Seen friends lose life and limb. I don't know what that could be.
But there's always someone bent on breaking the world.
But this is very much setting Varric up in this.
It's time for a new hero.
It's time for a new hero. So, and again, no magic hand, no prophecy.
No magic hand. No ancient prophecy.
So completely separate. Same world, but the story, they're already billing it 4 years ago as completely separate. You are in true Dragon Age style now. This is a fourth hero in the world. They're not giving them a name like Hawk in 2. Hawk was like a shepherd-esque. You're familiar with Mass Effect. Hawk was like the shepherd of Dragon Age. They tried to do something with him and it didn't work. Hawk is still around as far as I know. Again, no spoilers, please. But this is obviously saying straight away, you're a new hero, you're not connected to the past, there's no prophecy, there's no magic hand. This could all have changed. We don't know. But the thing that stood out to me is this. This is it Tevinter, I think? We've seen this in the recent gameplay reveal. So these concepts, these sort of areas that they've built, and this, it might be in-engine, it doesn't say it's in-engine, this might be in-engine footage, not necessarily gameplay, but it could be in-engine. They already have this rather fantastic looking setup with this.
The kind of person they'll never see coming.
And obviously magic and things.
We've got your back. I've got your back.
I think we're starting to see this take shape, certainly in the visual style. That bow actually looks similar to, is it the Fade Jumper elf? Potentially has something similar to that.
Even the Dreadwolf.
We'll find out in a little bit. But obviously Solus, the Dreadwolf, it's how that lighting is. I know we're not really going deep into the lighting and stuff. How that is lighting him. It's giving him this evil twist. You know, he's slightly in shadow. He's slightly hidden away. So, I mean, I think they're building Solus up to... I don't know what they've said. I can't remember. Feels like they're building Solus up to be the big bad, but I think it might be a bait and switch. But I don't know yet. As I say, I'm still playing through Inquisition. So obviously, again, things have changed. It's different, what have you. This was obviously before they named it. And then they went quiet again for 3 years. 2.5 years. 2023, Dragon Age Day. Thedas calls.
We fight for everyone. And we always will.
Tell you what, we should have that on, shouldn't we? So this is Antiva.
We fight for everyone, and we always will. The Crows rule Antiva.
Looks very fancy.
Glory to the risen gods. They come to deliver this world.
Who are the risen gods?
Grey Wardens don't
Have I
hide
spotted
in our
Grey Wardens?
castle. I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
I'm not recognizing any of these voices.
All the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign.
I don't recognize that voice. Okay, interesting. I didn't think this early on, I say this early, 2023, last year, they had said full reveal 2024. But they've called it, obviously, first time Dreadwolf shows up as a name.
We fight for everyone, and we always will. The crows rule Antiva.
So this isn't showing us Tevinter.
Glory to the risen gods.
Rivian, I need to know what Rivian is.
Deliver this world.
Grey
The
Wardens don't
Anderfells.
hide in our
I
castle.
love the Grey Wardens.
I won't ask good soldiers to turn tail and run.
They're so underused. That red lyrium there.
All the world will soon share the peace and comfort of my reign.
It doesn't really give us anything, it's just a little look at the world. Obviously it says Thedas calls. It's not giving much away. Which is kind of what they want, I think. Because, I don't know, I think at this point they were very deep in development. The story's probably done 2023, but they're not ready to show it. And then we get... Yeah, we won't dwell on this one. I've already talked about this. The next two I've already talked about. We're going to take a longer look at the gameplay reveal because I want to remind myself and see what we can gain from it. The reveal trailer that came out 2 months ago. I mean, you can see the difference there. 2.1 million views on the trailer, 4.4 million views on the deep dive. The trailer wasn't great. This feels like they made a trailer for a hero shooter. And obviously, Dreadwolf was meant to be some sort of online, co-op-y, open-worldy, multiplayer-y bullshit. Fine. But that's not Dragon Age. Luckily, they learned that lesson. They changed everything around. We then got the Veilguard title and this trailer. Let's take a look. And this is like a mini Who's Who. This is going to introduce us to a new cast of characters. And returning faces. So this is game engine footage. Varric looking older.
This'll take more than you and me.
Harding from Inquisition. I like Harding.
We need someone to be our eyes and ears in the shadows.
So we still have our mage. It's Neve, who's a detective.
Darkness to the daylight.
Lucanus, the mage killer.
We're going into the Fade, aren't we?
I'd missed that name, but the Veil Jumper.
Digging up a lot of buried secrets.
And I think that is Matt Mercer, Emmerich. I think he's voicing.
Darkspawn.
Yeah. Someone who will stand between us and a pack of demons.
I love that he's got a little griffin thing. A little pet. That's cool. The Darkspawn are red.
Dragons.
Right.
And then confirming dragons.
We'll need someone with fire in their
Tash. Female Canary.
blood. One more thing.
Obviously there's Bull in Inquisition.
This crew needs a leader. Someone we can count on. Someone that the world can count on.
Yet again, it's the same character from the last
Where
trailer.
are we gonna
Or
find
from
it?
2020. Hooded. Cloaked. Not giving anything away because you design your character. It's a similar bow. You can see that the art style has stayed fairly close. It's just... it feels wonky. I'm going to mute it because I don't know if the song's going to cause me problems with it being a cover of a Bowie song. I think we were okay. But yeah, so Varric and Bianca, obviously Harding as well, well-known characters, and I think Harding's got quite a reputation. People seem to like her. I'm still, I like her, but I haven't seen much of her. And then we have our magic user, like pure magic user by the looks of it, the traditional mage. And then this guy, the mage killer, uses daggers. He's obviously our rogue. We're going to get more of a deep dive as we go in. And then another magic user as such. Is it Bellara, the Veil Jumper? Now, I don't know what a Veil Jumper is. It's obviously elven, potentially not locked to elves, but it's an elven thing at the minute. Some sort of treasure hunter, Indiana Jones style, but using the Veil and the powers of the Veil. We have our Emmerich here, our what are they called? Necromancer. Obviously that's confirmed he has this army of skeletons as well. Necromancy is an interesting thing. I see that Dorian has the ability to use Necromancer in Inquisition. But this is clearly Necromancy as pulling the dead or skeletons out of the ground and things like that. So that's going to be an interesting mechanic, knowing that you can't take control of your characters as well. So these companions will be doing all of this stuff around you. Don't know if you can order them, but obviously that's a change from the Dragon Age formula. And the dragons always look cool. Tash, I mean, female Canary, big muscular woman. She's going to be everyone's love interest, right? And then main character looks similar to the guy who was, or the character that was holding the goblet of wine in the previous trailer. I didn't realize that. They've obviously had this idea of a box art main character, and it's this. But that's quite cool that they've continued that on. That does actually show quite a lot of continuity, certainly from 2020 onwards, despite the game maybe changing and things getting tweaked and moved around and going back to the single player thing. But that's pretty good. So that sort of brings us pretty much up to date. Looking back after the gameplay deep dive, I actually don't think that trailer's as bad. It's not a great trailer, and it does not feel right for Dragon Age. But you can sort of, art style and companion-wise, you can see the design is there. It's in a similar world. This is where it got interesting for me, and this is why I played Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition on the other channel. So this is your first look at Dragon Age. It's not, but first look at Dragon Age the Veilguard. The following footage was captured from software in development and takes place very early in the game. Been edited for brevity to avoid any major spoilers. Good, we don't want spoilers. So, this is what the game actually looks like.
I hope Nev's as good at finding people as
at the time.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If
We've
she
obviously
says she's
met
got
our
a
companions here.
I believe her.
And my guess is this is, they say early on in the game, but this is, you've put the band together.
Should we be in more of a hurry to get out of here?
And something has happened that has caused you to hunt Solus.
Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Nev Gallus and stop Solus.
I'm not sure about the animations of the people, but I think this looks really good. The world, the rain, so it's, again, clearly stating custom appearance. This is Rook level 1, so maybe not level 1 Rogue, but if it's level 1, maybe it is super early in the game. But I don't think that's correct. I think you'll play something before this. Backstory, obviously we know that there's loads of backstories to choose from, and we will get more information on those, I would guess, in the IGN first in September. But we're going after Neve. And I like that it states custom appearance. Shepard, in all the trailers, had a defined look that became my default Shepard look.
Think you can talk him
like a
down
lot of people
before he
did.
starts his big ritual?
That ritual is
Whereas
going
this
to tear
is a
down the
custom
veil.
character,
The
you see them in the
only
world,
thing
and they
separating us
actually
from
look, the
Fae
face
and an
looks
endless
good.
number
It's
of demons.
a custom face,
I
BioWare,
have to talk him down.
it's pretty good. I think we're into Vinter here, that's the flying city thing.
Do anything.
Get down.
Are they after us? Is it because of the bar?
Word travels fast in Minrathous.
It's Minrathous, right? So part of me thinks that that's a choice.
Get arrested, especially.
Or is it showing you what's going on in the world? Because I don't know what any of this is yet. If it's explained in Inquisition and Trespasser,
Oh crap!
I'll learn.
The
They
ritual
obviously know.
started. But if we hurry, we can still stop Solus before it finishes. Let's go. Harding's this way. She'll get us to Dumont Plaza. Watch out!
Obviously we've got demons around. I quite like this. The lighting's very good.
Is Solus summoning demons on purpose?
My guess is the veil is weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks.
Demons do look
When
different
the
though.
veil comes down completely?
Similar but different.
And the whole world is going to look a lot like this.
That's a familiar look though. It's got no legs though.
Come on, this way. It should get us to Harding.
But this is obviously a tease to get you in the mood. That looked fairly fluid. The animations look pretty good.
You're safe now. Get inside and bar the door as quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Is that the same girl from earlier?
Harding.
I don't remember
You
Harding
alright?
being as freckled either.
I've been doing what I can to help. The ritual must be weakening the veil. There are a lot of scared people out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
What about you two? Are you okay?
Same dialogue wheel. Obviously similar icons that we're
Good,
familiar with.
but we need to move.
Agreed. Solus isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there. Where's Nev Gallus? Wasn't she at the meeting point?
The Venatori got to her first. They grabbed her before we arrived and paid off the bar owner to keep it quiet.
I'm
the
not
Venatori is
surprised
still
our
in.
detective did something to piss off a cult of murderous blood mages, but their timing stinks. The bar owner said the Venatori
But just pause it there. Interesting that he's mentioned Venatari, which are in Inquisition. They're probably in the earlier ones, but I don't remember them having a big part. Blood mages. Now we know as a class, we're not allowed to have blood mages. You cannot be a blood mage. You will not have access to blood magic because it's apparently terrifying and very strong from what they've said. Again, I don't know a huge amount. I've purposefully stayed away from press releases and people on Twitter, you know, devs talking about it and stuff. But apparently, we don't have blood magic. Blood magic is obviously still a huge thing.
took Nev to Dumont Plaza. Can you get us there, Harding?
Rook, you're with the Shadow Dragons. I figured you'd know Minrathous better than I do.
Sure, but Minrathous is huge, and this is nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry, scouting's my specialty. Follow me.
For that, we'll pause it there as well before we go into combat. That is clearly a moment where Harding, and this has been edited, this might not be how it shows in the game, but Harding says you're with the Shadow Dragons, which is this guy's background. There are 4, 5, 6 different backgrounds, however many. So that further sort of brings in a Baldur's Gate 3-esque background element to it, which helps you again more personalize your character and grounds you in the world. As sort of storytelling and inclusion for the player, I think this is pretty good. Everything that we see in here I think is very good, but it feels like they've actually put some thought into the writing.
Eyes up, we've got company.
And obviously demons look very different.
Demons, here they come.
Now we have been over this, but obviously I'm picking up new things. This combat, not sure about this, with these icons being so big. But this combat is very sort of fluid. It looks, I think, Mass Effect-y. Certainly Mass Effect Andromeda. It's a bit more free-flowing. switches to his bow, melee to bow, back to melee, which is cool. That's huge. That's a massive change up in gameplay for Dragon Age. And obviously he has 8 arrows. He's used 1. It looks like as he kills that other enemy there, that one.
Demons, here they come.
The combat does look so much better. This looks more engaging from the kind of game that I like to play. So he shoots the enemy. I think he misses. I'm not entirely sure. But then he kills the enemy and he gets the arrow back. So it's not like an item you need to pick up and keep an eye on. It's akin to the focus meter and things. Actually, no, that's a lie. It's on a timer. Let's just see that again. So he pulls the bow out, powers up his shot, fires the shot. It's on a timer. And remember, this guy is level 1. And that's quite a quick cooldown. That's a cool move.
I think that's the last of them.
And actually,
Let's get to Duma Plaza and find Ned.
Demons, here
Right.
they come.
so 2 weapons, but he's moving more like a Jedi, like a prequel Jedi, the flips, the spins. This is our rogue, so he's fast, he's nimble. This combat, and I love that change to the bow and then back. If they've nailed that smoothness, that's going to be huge. Certainly for me, things that I like. That was another skill, but we don't have the skills popping up on the side like we do. Obviously this is some sort of combo system. Maybe there's a heavy attack and I don't know. I would love to see more. But there he goes up. Looks like Twin Strikes. Goes up. Goes into the next one.
Duma Plaza and find Nev. Patch
It looks
yourselves up
so
if
much
you
more
need it.
fluid. And he's using the daggers and the weapons separately. He goes for a lunge with the main sword, and then with the dirk he goes out.
If Solus tears
And
down the veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
It looks like
Solus
there's
always
potential
talked about
for
how
with sword and
beautiful
shield. You swing your sword around, and then you hit them with a shield as part of the combo, and then you go back in with the sword, maybe things like that. Maybe there's swords play different to axes, play different to spears, play different to maces. I don't know. There's so many questions.
Venatori cultists!
So that was a parry there, and he actually parried the magic back at the mage. Kick him off. So you still can't push enemies off edges. Oh no, you can.
Looks like the Venatori put up a barrier to block the way.
More intruders!
It looks like XP is massively toned down. So there's a dodge there as well. There's 2 dodges. And obviously you're attacking multiple enemies in the same combos if they're grouped together. Missed the parry there. Health doesn't look like it regens. Certainly the bars. But you've got your potions as normal. Potions are now green, not red. Which is interesting.
Guess we're sliding down.
The classic slide.
They're allies of Nev Gallus! Kill them all!
Right, okay. Let's pause it here. I'm sure we've broken down this before. Venatori Warrior. Use the action wheel to pause the action and choose from Rook's abilities. I don't know why we have companions here. Now, part of me, actually, because we can't control companions, why would it tell you who has what? We obviously have this one skill because we're level 1. Part of me actually thinks these are your base attacks. This is skill tree 1. This is skill tree 2. And as you unlock them, these pop up. Oh, this is maybe specialization 1, specialization 2. I don't know. But I would be amazed if they're wasting half of this screen on, for instance, in this, that's Harding, that's Varric. this is their abilities, it's the amount of cooldown that they're on, but you can't activate them. That doesn't sit with me. But we don't know. Like, we have so many questions. But overall, this is very similar to what we've seen with... It's with the action wheel in Mass Effect over Dragon Age, really, isn't it? This isn't anything like Dragon Age, this is Mass Effect. Which might be a problem for some people. I don't think it's a bad thing. But it just... Yeah, I don't know. For me, the combat looks better, probably because they're leaning into that Mass Effect free play style. I think it's going to turn off a lot of people. So obviously, you choose your skill, does the action, and it's now appeared down here, bottom of the screen. So maybe they do still have it, it's just, they've only just turned it on.
Barrack Tetris. The Venatori own these streets.
But again, you only have one. And they have a shield, but you killed them in one go. Okay. Maybe it wasn't a shield.
Venatori, take your revenge!
That seems to be damage related down there, and it comes back as you damage things. Because obviously this bar interacts with that somehow, but it only comes back in combat. I really want to know how combat works in this.
Varric, Harding. Not the worst timing.
Nev, it's so good to see you. We thought the Venatori had kidnapped you.
They thought the same thing. A lot of Venatori in the city have reason to hate me. Figured I'd play along. Find out who wanted to settle the score this time. Then the sky
Does she not have legs or feet?
So I'm back on the job.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Nev Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solus. Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
Yeah, she has a
said if I was working in Tevinter, the Shadow Dragons are
metal
worth
foot.
trusting.
That's cool design.
We haven't got a lot of time. Varric said you had a lead on Solus?
You get right to the point. I haven't seen Solus in person, but I did find hints of old magic, similar to what you get in elven ruins. I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go. Before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse, this ritual's already drawing more power than I'd expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god. Well,
I didn't know that.
whatever he is, he's causing trouble in my city. Let's go.
All citizens in the canal districts must remain in their homes.
So obviously we progress on. It doesn't really matter.
Well, we're not in Minrathous anymore.
I know these trees. This is Arlethan Forest.
I mean, the world looks
And
good.
there's
That
your
change
ritual.
from city
The
to
power involved. I've never seen anything like it.
forest. Is he?
The
Did that
tremors are getting worse.
come back? Like he's reversing time
And
because he
we've
can
got
do that in
demons.
Inquisition. I think mages can do that. Right, I want you to see you use the skill and see what happens to that bar. So they have a gold bar which is shield. Right, okay. I think I get it. So down here, down at the bottom, you've got these two little pips. Unlike, I guess that's going to be the focus meter, but it looks like you can use it twice. It has a cooldown on its own, but you can use 2 skills at any one time at this point, level 1, before you need to wait for that to recharge. So you're never actually going to feel like all of your skills are out. Well, you might, I don't know. Depends how fast this goes up. It looks like this only increases when you're fighting, much like the focus meter.
The Fade's a mess this close to the ritual. No telling what could come through.
Does it feel like those tremors are getting worse?
So when he's next in combat, has that meter refilled, or has it stayed where it was? We won't know because this jumps again. They're really not giving us much, are they? Just little breadcrumbs. The particle effects are cool.
We have to stop this demon quickly.
Right, I was wrong. The will is used to issue commands and direct your companions, locked at this early point in the game. So you can't control companions, but you can issue 3 of their skills. Do you get to set up those skills, or do companions only have 3 skills and it's a very streamlined leveling system? But you can, whoever you take with you, and we know again it's been confirmed you get 2 companions, not 3 this time around. So that is going to be companions then. Right, fair enough. So why do we only have access to 3 slots for the main character? Because you're obviously going to have more than 3 skills. This is so much like Mass Effect Andromeda. My guess is it's going to have a similar system where you can, I don't know, but you can, you can be in Mass Effect full soldier, full biotic, full tech, or you can mix between the 2 or 3 of them and create your own class that's whatever you want to play. But you only have 3 skills. So I would run around with biotic throw, shield pop, with overload, and there was something else. Let's just say it was like a hack or something. But for long sequences of the game, I just wouldn't bother changing my skills because you had to go through 3 different menus to change skills. So I don't know how they're going to do skills in this because that was an awful system. Well, it was an awful way of activating parts of that system, but you could have different builds. So you had like a soldier build, you had a engineer build. You could set 6 different 3 sets of skills, or 4 or whatever it was, I can't remember, but you could have pre-built ready to drop into skill sets. But I don't know. It was clunky as hell, and they'd really have to iterate on it to make it better. So this, obviously, you've got level 4 Pride Demon, he's got a barrier, and then he's got armor, and then under his armor he's going to have his health. So they've streamlined the systems a little bit. But he basically has 3 tiers of health bar. And I would guess magic will do damage to barriers, physical will do damage to armor, and they've maybe had that difference. The key thing is, they're color-coded, much like Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, armor is yellow, barriers and warp energy and warp shields, biotic barriers, is blue. I think I think this game is a big glimpse of how Mass Effect 5 is going to play. And I know we're here to talk about Dragon Age, but
Damn thing probably sent Solus's
that's
ego.
very much how it feels. But the combat looks good. Like, it isn't Dragon Age combat. It's more like 2. The combat looks good. And you're actually cutting through enemies.
Good enough. Let's get
Inquisition, it's a tough slog to go through low-level enemies and things early in the game. So this looks like you've actually got some power. The animations do look a little bit clunky, but I can work with it. And then this is obviously the cliffhanger ending. And I would guess you have some ownership over what happens here. You can choose certain things. I mean, we see it prior to what happens anyway.
All right. I'll take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive. You three just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solus isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solus needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I gotta...
Obviously, the approval system is still in here from the previous game. I wonder if that choice there, if you say, not a good idea, it gives it a more negative outcome, and how much ownership you have on this choice. Might not. I might be overthinking it, but wouldn't it be cool if you go in there and say, yeah, you've got this, dude. I'm right behind you. He goes in and it's a different outcome.
Try to reach him.
Depends how fixed this story beat is in the story.
Then he'll hear from Bianca.
More demons.
Rook,
I mean,
take care of the team for me.
This is more just story stuff. But again, I think this is a bait and switch. I don't think this is necessarily right. I think what we're seeing is a purposefully created situation. I am interested in why he's...
Let's buy him some time.
Why he's doing this. Hopefully we'll find out soon in our Inquisition playthrough.
Better talk fast. We can't hold these demons off forever.
That enemy just stood there. And it might be that Neve is that cold spell, that chill spell, slows them down a little bit, or it staggers them or something. But the enemies weren't doing a huge amount.
The veil is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying.
Well, Bianca's in 3 pieces.
It is what they do.
I'm sure that'll be Varric's personal quest, is recreate Bianca. Rebuild Bianca.
Take the shot.
Won't work. He's too powerful.
What if we disrupt the ritual?
How?
See those statues? If we break the scaffolding holding that one up, the whole thing will come down on Solus.
It's risky. Interrupting a ritual at this scale will have consequences.
And what about the demons? Varric needs us to hold them off.
Right. You two stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The storm could tear you apart.
Anyone got a better idea?
Fine, but you'll need backup. I'm with you.
I'm a mage. I'll go.
Either way, someone needs to
This
stay
is,
back
again,
and deal
it's
with
an
the
early
demons.
hero moment. This is actually quite cool that you get to do something heroic early in the game.
Let's go, Hardy. Nev, keep the demons off us.
You got it.
This is just fairly straightforward. I mean, again, the world looks great. The party effects looks really good. It looks a lot better than Inquisition, and Inquisition looked pretty good. It's the fluidity of the movement that I quite like. You know, he gets to a barrier there, and I don't know if there's a button pressed or what, but there's no prompt. He just mantles the fallen pillar. There's no, out of combat, there doesn't look to be any fluidity in actual combat moves. He's just doing the first move in a combo 4 times there. But
knowing all the lives it'll cost.
That might be tweaked, that might not be, it doesn't break anything.
Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but
It isn't falling. We need to push it.
I'm with you.
I mean,
Together.
I'm not entirely sure how this would work, but it's your big hero moment for your new character.
Made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Push!
But he can rewind time. This does look very cutscene heavy from what we see. Are they gods? Are they like elder gods or something? Obviously fall 2024. I think this was a much better showcase of what this game is going to be. I think the combat looks pretty solid, much more interesting than Inquisition is. Certainly for me, who is a fan of like the Witcher combat. Dungeons of Hinterberg is a new game I'm playing. I love the combat system in this. This has a little bit of that in it, where you're bouncing around, you're free. It's not quite as static as Dragon Age typically was with Inquisition. Again, I'm early in the game, so I don't know. I might get better. But Inquisition isn't really working for me. I don't feel like I can take on enemies, even playing it on easy. Whereas this, it looks fast, it looks fluid. Yes, it's flashy, but it's leaning into that sort of fantasy feel where you are this trained hero, this rogue, whatever. The animations are pretty good. Obviously, we've seen that move before, and there was a jump up, and then there was a jump down as well. That might be a combo if 2 enemies are close to each other, or there's obviously a combo system in this at some point, because they've leaned heavily on it in Mass Effect, and it was in Inquisition as well to an element. But this looks like a very different kind of game to previous Dragon Ages. Again, I mean, to me, it looks more akin to 2. I wouldn't be surprised, because you can't take over companions. You can use abilities, but you can't take over companions. We see the thing again. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised that you get your 3 skill choices for your enemies, for your companions, sorry. But the companions themselves are a set design like they are in 2. I would be very surprised if you can give them other weapons, other armor. You'll be able to upgrade their armor and stuff. I think this has gone, weirdly, much more mainstream into the simplicity of what was Mass Effect Andromeda and Dragon Age 2. but potentially on a larger scale. Because you're jumping through different areas. You're in this city and then you go through a portal and you're in a forest, you're somewhere else. You're probably jumping around Thedas quite a lot from what they've teased. Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm sold on this. I think it looks good, and I am a BioWare skeptic these days. But I want this to be good because I want Mass Effect 5 to be good. But I think this game is trying to do its own thing. It's trying to do something different, but it's also laying the foundation of what a modern-day BioWare game is going to be. You've got your companions, you've got hopefully a fairly slick script, a well-told story, decent visuals, interesting worlds, interesting skills, characters that you can fully customize, all that stuff. Is that going to be the case? Who knows? But it certainly seems interesting. I am not against it. So let's just bounce over to here. We're a couple of minutes out from the release date reveal. What have we got coming up next? So next week was high-level combat, which we'll cover. I'll do a bit of a deep dive on that. I don't know if it'll be live. We'll see when it is. Obviously next week's going to be a busy one. But I really want to see what high-level combat is in combat in general. I want them to actually discuss these elements, how you pick skills for your companions as well as yourself, how you change your skills, why you only have 3 skills instead of, is it 8? You could have up to 8 easy accessible. In the previous Dragon Ages on the trigger system, it doesn't look like we have any of that. Might be wrong. This is very early, and that was a very curated look at the game. They are purposefully showing you what they want you to see. Hey Nixian, how we doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. I don't know, the combat is where this game is going to fall down. But it looks fast, it looks fluid, it looks engaging. From everything I'm seeing so far, it's a massive breakaway from Inquisition. And that could split the fan base. A lot of people could kick off about that. But it looks like the kind of fantasy game that I would enjoy. And then we have week after companions. I think what we'll do is we'll bundle them all together and we'll have a look at all the companions. I think there's 7 companions in this. So we'll see sort of how they release it. I would expect it's going to be 1 every day if there is 7. And we'll probably just have a look at all of them. Or we might do it on the Dragon Age stream over on the other channel. I don't know, we'll figure that out. That's a problem for the week after next. The Discord thing might be interesting. I wonder if we're going to get an article about get your questions in or something. If there's anything interesting that comes out of that, I'll do a separate video on that. But it's the big one really is the IGN first. I think that's where we're going to learn a lot over September. And then whenever the release is, October time, I'm guessing, is when we're going to get there. What are we thinking? What are we thinking for the release date, or what are we thinking of Veilguard overall? And my favorite Dragon Age game for years, it was Origins. I love Origins, but I replayed it last year on my other channel. I did a live stream of all the DLC and everything. I don't know, it's a great story, but it's just a little clunky now. It's a little old, which isn't its fault. But I love Origins, I love the characters in Origins, but I really enjoyed 2 as well. 2 was a very engaging story. I am currently playing through Inquisition at the minute. I don't know, the gameplay is hard work, it feels. But I'm interested in the story. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I've only just sort of got to Skyhold, and we're bouncing around the desert and things. So yeah, we're getting there. Thinking for Veilguard. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. I am a BioWare skeptic these days. I'm a massive Mass Effect fan. Big old day BioWare fan, you know, Knights of the Old Republic and that stuff. Dragon Age Origins. I did love 2 when it came out. I didn't love 2 when it came out, but Dragon Age 2 going back has actually stood up the test of time very well. But Mass Effect is my thing. But I'm really getting into the Dragon Age stuff now. And I hope that Veilguard is actually going to give us some fun characters, some, you know, great places to venture into the world and really start to solidify itself as a franchise again. In a 10-year break. But that gameplay reveal trailer was pretty good. I broke it down when it first came out. And it's the reason that I played Dragon Age 2 and I'm now playing Inquisition on my other channel. Because I'm kind of getting excited about this. And I think it's... If BioWare land... You know, if they've made a great game and it lands well and the fans receive it well, we're going to be in business. If not, BioWare are going to be in trouble. So it really depends. For me, it depends on the gameplay and the story. And the companions. But the companions seem pretty cool. What about you? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts so far? Veilguard seems more in line with Mass Effect. It definitely feels much more like Mass Effect Andromeda. Don't know about the original trilogy. But they've definitely... It seems much more fluid and fast-paced. And much more approachable for the standard non-CRPG style gamer. Which... Maybe it isn't going to be as individual as we'd hope for its gameplay, but if it gets more people interested in the world, if it gets more people playing the game, that's got to be a good thing, right? I just hope they don't do the characters dirty. Alright, 8 seconds to go. And then we finally get to see when this thing's out and maybe some new footage. What have we got? Blood, nudity, sexual themes, strong language, and violence. All the things you want in a BioWare game.
You have no idea what you have done. The blighted elven gods walk free.
Why are we in German?
Disrupted my ritual.
You battle against gods. They will not rest until you are on your knees. Fearful, cowering, helpless in the face of such power.
That's Claudia Black.
Rook, you've got this.
I like that we're seeing a different Rook.
You're clever, adaptable, and you don't know when to quit.
The world looks brilliant.
You want allies to go after the gods? I've got places to look.
Where do we start?
Does people's armor change?
I'll be damned. A griffin. In war, victory.
The griffin looks cool. Oh, he does have magic.
I'm ready.
I've never seen this before. There's something kind of exciting about it.
I think our companions... Is that Harding has magic? That's cool, very Geiger-esque.
Let the Fae draw close.
Draw the dragon
I don't think you can customize your companions.
Then attack.
You and me, Rook. Maybe that's what scares me.
Teasing at romances and things.
These are the times in which legends are born or slain.
She's still pretty hot.
Our gods are back. Our gods. How do we stand against that?
So that's why it was called Dreadwolf.
I believe in all of us. So let's get it done.
Oh, no. I think that's the Dreadwolf. It is the Dreadwolf. Right, okay. Sword and shield. Okay. We've got a lot to break down on this. I was wrong. I was very wrong. It's end of October. I was in the right month. Right, pre-order now and receive the Blood Dragon cosmetic armor. That's an age-old thread from even the old days of BioWare and Mass Effect as well. It came to Mass Effect 2 and 3. Still the same Blood Dragon sigil on the... Yeah, that's cool. Right, okay. We're definitely done, yes? Yes, right. Okay. We've got a release date, 31st of October, which is... a Thursday. Well, it's meant to be my day off, but I guess that's not going to be happening. Okay, interesting. Right. In fact... like settings... don't know why they're in German, they should be in English. Let's have a proper look at this.
You have no idea what you have done. The blighted elven gods walk free, all because you disrupted my ritual.
You battle against gods. They will not rest until you are on your knees.
Okay, obviously Morrigan's back, which is so fucking cool. What we saw in the gameplay trailer that we just watched, that came out 2 months ago, is us disrupting this ritual. So, by disrupting the ritual, we've released the old gods. Hence, probably why the game was called Dreadwolf and is now Veilguard. So the setup... is this red lyrium? Is that red lyrium? There's something else I want to check with this image as well. It's not red lyrium. Interesting. It's very Darkspawn-esque. What was it? The potentially female character? Could it be a broodmother? Darkspawn broodmother? I mean, it's messed up.
Oh, cowering.
I like that we're going back to that horror vibe.
Face of such power.
Do we think that this is Flemeth? If the old gods are back and Flemeth was like god level, could this be Flemeth coming back, or could this be Morrigan?
Rook, you've got this.
I also like this. So this guy, he's got a bit of an Oscar Isaac look to him. His facial animations, the face itself, it doesn't look weird. In the other trailer, where you saw another custom Rook, didn't look weird. So the faces are actually working well. It's not off-putting to create your own face, which is really cool.
I've seen your work. You're clever, adaptable.
That's very Morrigan-esque.
And you don't know when to quit.
Could be one of the old gods, yeah. This isn't Tevinter, right?
You want allies to go after the gods?
Right, that's cool. Obviously Campatire, because her hair's down. I think it's the same character. But this is the only time that we see... that's Rook. I'd ignore how he looks. This is the only time that we see another character looking differently.
The gods.
Every other time, they have a set look. There, she looks exactly like she has previously. That's Neve, yeah.
I'll be damned. A griffin.
In war, victory.
The Griffin's so cool. This guy, the mage killer.
I'm ready.
He looks exactly like he did in the previous trailer. His armor's the same. Her style is the same. I think this is like Dragon Age 2, where they're locked into a certain look, and you just upgrade elements.
What is happening to me?
That's crazy. Harding has powers.
Let the Fae draw close.
Baldur's Gate vibe. Baldur's Gate 3.
Then attack.
You and me, Rook.
Although she looked different.
Maybe that's what scares me.
These are the times in which legends of
Crown is very similar to what Flemeth has worn, very similar to the horns on the dragon.
born or slain.
Our gods are back. Our gods. How do we stand against that?
I believe in all of us. So let's get it done.
This worries me. That worries me. We'll just bounce back a bit. They had spoiled Harding having magic, had they? Oh. But yeah, I mean, it adds an extra element of character development, though. So now we know, and they've obviously shown it off in this trailer. That would have been cool to just for it to happen. But what does that actually mean? Is she infected with something? Is it because of the ritual we stopped? Or is everybody just getting powers now because magic has gone wild? There could be some really cool story beats. Not sure on Morrigan's new look. I think she looks good. But isn't the canon Morrigan choice she gave birth to an elder god? Well, that was my choice. I don't know if that's canon. But there is a choice in Origins where your warden, or another warden, but your warden, because it's Morrigan, you can have sex to stop you. I don't know what it is, but it stops the archdemon killing you. And my guess is that has followed through. And I know she's in Inquisition from what people have told me, but I haven't got there yet. But if she's given birth to an elder god, and this is all about gods, elder gods, things coming back through the veil, power growing, are we actually going to see what? Are we going to get a conclusion to the Hero of Ferelden's story with this? That'd be amazing.
Let's get it done.
This I don't like.
So let's get it done.
This looks like Prince of Persia finishes, or Geralt finishes from Witcher 2 and 3. I don't know if I need heroic finishes in a Dragon Age game. This character here is obviously a rogue. He's got the two swords and he's got a bow on his back. Previously in the trailer, same character, same face. Or is it later in the trailer? He has a sword and shield. So is warrior, mage and rogue not really a thing anymore? You're right, there were finishes in it though, weren't there? Jumping on trolls and dragons and cool hero mode. Yeah, okay, I take it back. I mean, it feels a bit weird for it being on a character like this. But yeah, no, I take it back. There have been finishes in Dragon Age series before. I just haven't done them in Inquisition. Here's another reason I think that dragon is Morrigan. Or Flemeth, but Morrigan. Because the Dreadwolf is fighting it. That one looked different. Right, there. Same hero. Different armor. Similar, but different armor to what we saw in the... Where was that finish of it?
Our gods are back. Our gods. How do we stand against that?
I believe in all of us. So let's get it done.
No, it's the same armor. So what does that mean? Right, okay. I think class doesn't matter. You just take abilities, weapons, you can play everything. I think. I don't think there's going to be any set restrictions in this, which isn't a bad thing, and that's very much how Andromeda was. You think the animations look clunky? They do look slightly clunky. The facial animations are pretty good, but the lip syncing seems a bit off, and some of the fighting animations... It has a cartoony vibe to it. So you're not a big fan of this new look? I don't think it looks like... I don't think it looks like the Dragon Age that we know, because it has this higher contrast, fancier sheen. They're not using the Snowbite engine or whatever it was called. Frostbite? Was it Frostbite or was that Ubisoft? I can't remember. But they're not using that again. They're using a different engine that's obviously working. Face animations look good though, the eyes look good, the lighting's very good, the world looks very good. It is Frostbite, is EA. Yeah, overall, I haven't seen anything in here that has put me off.
What's that?
Big monsters, interesting characters. That looks, it might just be the animation is a little clunky. But I don't love that finisher.
Our gods are back.
And actually, I don't... A lot of this is cutscene. This isn't gameplay. I don't get this. Like, okay, it's cool. It's a skeleton. It's a skeleton carrying a guy's backpack with gloves and boots and... Is it really Dragon Age? They're still using Frostbite? Really? Oh boy. This might be a rough launch then. But they've definitely gone for a much more high fantasy style. And the realism is out the window at this point. I think, yeah, if they've had 10 years, 12 years with Frostbite, they're probably okay. But Inquisition was... It has problems. You think it could be DA, but the cartoony feel?
Our gods are back.
I mean, that right there, let's just bounce back a little. That looks like was it Baal? That looks like Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is an incredible game, beautiful game. And in the D&D world, that works. That's what this is. This is Dragon Age. It's still Thedas, it still looks and feels like Theda. I mean, you've got like the big world stuff.
Adaptable.
All of this looks like the Ferelden, like the Thedas that we know, but it's got the D&D polish. That's what they've done. I'm not against it, but I wouldn't say until recently I was a die-hard Dragon Age fan, and I feel that it's needed reworking a little. Certainly for me, the gameplay looks better. This trailer, watching this trailer, I think... Yeah, I think I'm sold on it. We'll definitely be playing it at launch, regardless. I think I'm sold on it. But it's Dragon Age in a very different way. Probably because I think a lot of the Dragon Age veterans have left. Let's put the sound on. A lot of the... In fact, let's not, because my voice is going. A lot of the Dragon Age veterans have left. Some of them have come back but there's been a lot of changes at BioWare. They're a very different team to what they were 10 years ago, let alone 15 years ago for when Dragon Age first came out. But this all looks pretty good to me. And that was the biggest thing. The biggest thing is this trailer hasn't shown me anything that ruins my anticipation. I wouldn't say I'm hyped, because I think getting hyped for a BioWare product is very scary. You're much happier with the tone of this trailer than the first one. That first one was atrocious. It was like a hero shooter, wasn't it? This is giving you an idea of the story, and it's a pretty big story. Like elder gods coming back in through the Fade, and you've got to put a band together to stop them. I mean, it's... I hate to say it, but it's Mass Effect, Commander Shepard against the Reapers in the first Mass Effect, isn't it? just with Andromeda's gameplay. That feels like that's what this is. Not that that's a bad thing. But yeah, this looks good. I will obviously be playing it over on TOD Plays Games. And actually tonight at 9 PM, we will be over there playing more Inquisition. I think it's stream 16. So we're about 40 hours in at the minute. But yeah, I'm getting into Inquisition. When we first saw the trailer 2 months ago, I hadn't played Inquisition. And Inquisition is opening me up to a lot of this stuff. And I think part of my excitement and my anticipation for this is because I'm playing through the series now. Yeah, that's a pretty solid trailer. It doesn't give us anything seriously new. But you know what? It does a job. It gives us a release date. We know when it's coming out, so we know we've not got long to look forward to. And again, the big takeaway, over the next 6 weeks, we're going to get so much more information. I really hope that they land this game. I really hope that they nail not just Dragon Age, because I don't think they're trying to just nail Dragon Age. They're trying to nail BioWare. This game has to show you what BioWare is in this, 2024. What do BioWare do? Because they need a big win. And if this isn't a win for them, Mass Effect 5 won't save you. Because it's so far away. You need this to land. And everything I'm seeing is, this is what a modern BioWare game looks like. This is how we want to present the future of our type of RPG. And they will live or die by the reception of Veilguard. I hope it's good. They deserve it to be good because of their legacy. The BioWare magic has gone. Hopefully this brings it back. I mean, there's a lot of magic going on in the trailer, isn't there? So, but we'll see. We will see. I'm going to have to go because my voice is starting to go. And I've got to save it for tonight's stream. But Nixian, thank you for dropping in. It was nice to have you in chat. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Don't get overhyped. I think if you see this and you've run out and pre-order it and you're super excited, great. I won't be pre-ordering until a week before or whatever. And again, the only reason that I can say I'm getting this game is because I'll stream it on my channel. If I wasn't... Well, I mean, if I wasn't streaming games, I wouldn't be playing through the Dragon Age series now, so this probably wouldn't interest me. Just how it is. There's nothing here that puts me off. That's the main thing. And I really hope that there isn't a backlash. I hope that this trailer does nail what Dragon Age fans want, and people do start to look forward to this game now we have a date. And all this new stuff, I'll be covering on the channel as well, or bits of it. We'll probably look at the companions, we'll definitely look at the high-level combat, and we'll dip in and out of the IGN first. But we'll cover this. If anybody wants to come across, it's linked in the description below, but if anybody wants to come across for some Dragon Age gameplay, I am playing Dragon Age Inquisition on TOD Plays Games, which is my streaming channel, or my video game content channel. This is more for news and stuff. I'll be live tonight. We've got Dragon Age Inquisition going on. There's my previous playthroughs of Origins, my previous playthrough of Dragon Age 2, all of Mass Effect, Baldur's Gate. There's 2 Baldur's Gate playthroughs, Baldur's Gate 3. Loads of stuff on there. So I'm growing that. So if you are interested in seeing more of me playing games, jump over there. That'd be amazing to have you. And keep an eye on BioWare for more Dragon Age and the channel. Stick around because I will be covering, and I do need to get back to making more frequent content on this. So hopefully we'll start to get more going on with this channel as well. I'm going to go. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. If you're watching this back, let me know what you think. I'm interested to know what the serious Dragon Age fans think of this, because it does feel like a departure. But hey, I'm into it. I like flashy visuals and slick combat, so yeah, I'm a simple man. Thank you very much. I'll see you all in the next one.